She's got a quick wit. She's unpredictable. And she's real funny. She's Holly.
Hello and welcome to LMAO. I'm Holly because if Oprah can use her first name, why can't I? Coming to you tonight from the home studio, which we call the Comedy Hall, HOL. And tonight I am spending a few minutes with my lovely friend, Kim Wadsworth. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Man, I'm fantastic. I mean, look at me. I've marked myself safe all day, from Burleson, Texas.
What's up with Burleson, Texas? What's wrong with it?
I just feel like every time I leave, I've got to duck and cover. I mean, when you got this hair, it leaves you no choice. I mark myself safe on Facebook every day from things like Southern Baptists and witchcraft. It's weird. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have the pleasure of performing comedy on your show that you host every Thursday night with Haha Promotions at Springs Tavern. Tell us a little bit about that in the background and your producing and your comedy and all the other things you do. Make us laugh.
Yeah, so I got contacted by the owner of Six Springs Tavern to come and do a variety show, and his exact words is, "We want drag queens and burlesque and firewalkers and sword swallowers and anything that's going to make people get in the mood to come out and have a cocktail." And I'm like, "That's awesome, let's do it." And so far, I've brought him a bunch of stand-up comedians.
You both improv.
I did. Yeah, we brought in a couple of improv people. I've got a guy that plays the washboard. He's hilarious. I got a guy that plays piano and does musical improv, and he's awesome. And I got a burlesque dancer. I just booked my very first, after 7 weeks, booked my very first drag queen, and she is a bearded drag queen.
That's awesome.
So, bonus.
What night is that going to be on?
That will be on Thursday, May the 27th.
Okay, I'm going to mark it down.
Mark it down. I'm not going to be in town. I booked my own show. I booked me on the show and started doing the posters and went, I'm out of town. So I've got people stepping in. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is always a lot of fun. And just to let everybody else know that Six Springs Tavern in Richardson, Texas has amazing venue, food and drinks. And Brad and Carrie and Chris in the kitchen are amazing. So if you get a chance to come on out. Tell us about what's going on June 24, 25, 26 at Six Springs Tavern, Kim.
The most incredible thing has happened to me through the pandemic. I got to network with some great people, including you. We met earlier, but we really started hitting it off. We took some classes together through the pandemic and everything. And through that friendship and development, we have got hooked up with the right people in the right places at the right time. And we are having an LMAO show on June 24th, 25th, and 26th that will showcase local talent in the DFW area. And I'm excited about it because there are so many funny people here.
I'm just going to say, I know how excited you are because I don't think I've ever seen you speechless. You're just so excited. There's so much going on, and it is going to be an amazing 3 days. And LMAO is going to be amazing. It's going to be a great time, so much fun, and so much to look forward to. So it's a lot of work going into that. But the reason why you were contacted to produce this show with LMAO is because you're funny and you're dedicated. So while we have you, I want to hear about your comedy content, what makes you think of stuff, and you write and you do improv, you wrote some sketches, etc. I want to hear some of this funny stuff because I know you and I want you to promote yourself and show everybody else how funny you are.
Well, I was told as a youngster that I was weird. Okay. So that lent itself to me just becoming more weird and kind of in your face and stuff. And then I realized as I got older, I got old and fat and started doing weird stuff to my hair. I actually started doing weird stuff to my hair right after the rednecks stole the mullet from the lesbians. Yeah, it's kind of the early 90s there, but I just continue on with that. So if I'm going to be weird, I'm going to be weird in your face. The other day I realized that I'm no longer thin and lovely and young. So I'm kind of fat in the streets, but I still consider myself slim in the sheets. You know what I mean? So it's just real life stuff. I look in the mirror and go, there's got to be a joke there. Look, there's got to be a joke there.
I just would like to also thank you for your service, because I know that you are a veteran. Tell us a little bit about that and where you've been and where that took you in your life.
I am a proud U.S. Air Force veteran, and I love being in the Air Force. I joined whenever I was 19 years old, and I joined for the right reasons. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see things and go to places, and I succeeded at that, all using Uncle Sam's dollar bills. I've been to places like San Antonio, Texas, and Biloxi, Mississippi, for those fans. And I'm just bragging now. Dayton, Ohio. Anybody? Dayton? Yeah, that's the response I usually get. That's all it deserves, I think.
What was the best part about being in the military?
I met some amazing people, and even though, we trained together and all that, and even though we all went in separate directions, there's still a tight-knit group. We keep in contact with each other, and those are lifetime friends and buddies and pals, and it's just been an amazing experience. And when the military messes you up and you become a disabled vet, because they mess so many of us up. I mean, I got a paper cut. I was in the Air Force, Chair Force. I don't know, something like that. It just adds to all the flavor, and people are genuinely nice to you, and the camaraderie is just awesome, because you always have something in common with your brothers in arms. Mm-hmm. And you can always bet that if you're in a room at a VFW hall doing a show, that I will be the only Air Force vet there amongst a lot of Marines. And man, the Marines love the Marines.
Yes, they do. I tend to gravitate towards the Marines also, but there's a little bit of history, but that's not enough time. You did have me on a show that you had at the Mansfield VFW back in, I want to say it was last May or June. It was last year. I mean, almost a year ago now. And I remember I went to watch you actually, and I walked in the VFW, and I actually, when I walked in, there was a guy waiting in the parking lot, and I thought he was trying to find his car. And he actually said, "Oh, are you Holly?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, you're the only one that bought a ticket, so I just wanted to walk you in and give your money back." I'm like, "I'm not taking my money back. I'm giving it to the VFW." So then he got up and opened up the show, and I didn't know that's who he was. I thought he was looking for his car. So he introduced, he said, "And we just want to thank Holly Van Strand, who's here from, just moved here from New York, and she's giving back her $10, and just everybody stand up and give her applause." I'm like, wow. Well, and then I couldn't see everybody because they were smoking at the VFW. So I was like,
oh yeah,
trying to make some space so I could find you, but also, see the stage. So, and then I got to do some time on the stage, and it was just feeling like, I felt like I was at home that night. It was amazing. And then I had to go home and wash my hair and my clothes for 5 days straight, but it was a great time. Always a good time.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like whenever you go into any VFW hall and you're hanging out with a bunch of military vets, and you're in the right place because of all the motorcycles parked out front, and they're always, and the smoke coming out of the door. I mean, you're right about that. But they're so inviting, and they welcome everybody in, and they're like, "We're going to have a good time, and you're going to come and have a good time with us." And that's a great thing.
Yeah, and remember, I had just moved from New York, so it's like a one drink at the bar in New York is like $14, and I think I had a beer for $1.50, and I was like, wow. I was like, I'm staying. As I say, it's like I used to rent a small apartment in New York, and now I moved to Texas, and I rent an entire house, and I'm just in awe because I still have money left over at the end of the month to eat.
Right.
So it started off back at the $1.50 beer, so I was like, wow, I'm staying.
Exactly. And, I mean, listen, with all the $1.50 beers at the VFW and on base at the NCO club and the O club and all that kind of stuff, it seems like the military really pushes the agenda. And I think that's what happened to me. I mean, because can you even call yourself an alcoholic if you haven't drank dollar beers all night? I mean, yeah.
That's great. Well, I am going to ask you where we can stalk you on social media and where you will be performing in the next, little while, so we can follow you and watch what's going on in Kim's world. So tell us.
I am KimWadsworthComedy.com. It has all my social media links in one place. You can find me on Facebook, Kim Wadsworth Comedy. You can find me on Instagram, Kim Wadsworth Comedy. And you can find me on Twitter, at KD Wads or something ridiculous, because I don't know what happened there. Because I'm really good at social media, I think is the answer. I've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up. My schedule is on my website. I'm traveling to California actually tomorrow morning, and I will be at Knuckleheads in San Clemente on the 23rd, the 24th at 3 p.m. I've never done this before. I'll be at a Pan Pacific Park amphitheater doing a midday show, and then at 9:30 that night I'll be at the Comedy Chateau in Hollywood, North Hollywood. So I'm super excited. More networking stuff, but it's just amazing opportunities. I'll be at Laugh Right Girl Comedy Festival in June. I will be at Pre-Pride Festival in Pensacola, Florida in May, and another comedy festival in October. So
awesome. Keep him busy, keeping that schedule full. I was going to say, do you know what you're wearing to the Pan Pacific Gala Comedy Club? And then you're going to the Chateau. You're going to have to wear something frilly. Come on.
I know. I feel like I would wear my little LBD, my little black dress, if I just could figure out where to hide this muffin top. You know what I mean? So probably just going to go more cash,
Okay. With your boots, you wear your boots. What are those called?
Yeah, my Dyke Martens. Yeah, I'll wear those.
Yeah, Dyke Martens. That's amazing. Well, do you have one more funny to tell us before we sign off for the night?
I tell you, my lighting's not very good. I don't know how. For a lot of people, I just kind of look weird. I got this weird hair. My hairstylist has a name for this hairdo, though. She calls it, oops. No, right? I call it my white trash welcome mat because, everybody is welcome here. And I think it goes really good with my resting butch face. And that's what I got to say about it.
Well, you're awesome. I love you tons, and you're funny. And I'm so glad that I'm here in Texas and I get to see you and work with you and share the stage with you. So thank you for all the opportunities and for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Holly. You're one of a kind. It's been a great ride meeting you. You're so supportive. You've come out to more of my ridiculous stuff. Hey, Holly, what are you doing tonight? And I drag you up somewhere it looks like we're going to Crazy Town, and we do. We go to Crazy Town, and you're always there. You're always supporting, and I appreciate that.
Surround yourself by good people, no matter what crazy town it's in.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks, Kim. This has been LMAO, and I'm Holly, and thanks to Kim Wadsworth for being on the show tonight, and we look forward to seeing you at a future show. Thanks so much for the support. See you soon. Good night.
LMAO is sponsored in part by Pilates in America. Your Pilates class you can take in the comfort of your home. Go to pilatesinamerica.com for details.
This has been a presentation of LMAO Productions.